We are into which place? This place is this?
Garakalli and Igloo.
There is some water tank is there.
Devika mane yavdu?
Okay.
Devika was born with a cleft that was extending on the side of her lip. She also had ear tags on both sides of her ear. And because of her facial deformity, her parents went through a lot of trauma. The entire village considered her mother to be cursed. They also said that she has a snake curse and that she went out during an eclipse, and therefore her child was born with this facial deformity. Her mother was chased out of the village by the villagers while they were plotting to kill Devika because of her deformity. And they said that this child does not deserve to live in this village. Both of them ran away from the house. And in Bangalore, they came to know about Love Without Reason through a pamphlet, and they came to one of our camps.
Doesn't look like very small jaw, but we need to monitor our growth. So if we see that mandible is not growing, so then we need to address. It depends on case to case.
Case to case. Okay. What's her name? Devika.
And at that camp, we were able to identify and diagnose what happened with Devika. And our doctor there, Dr. Satish, he was able to do a simple surgery. Actually, they did 3 simple surgeries on Devika. And today, Devika is just transformed. I mean, her face just looks so bright. She's doing very well. And now Devika is a celebrity in her village. People in the village look at her, and her village is literally named after her. They call it Devika's village.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಯಾವ್ದು ಮನೆ? ಇದೇನಾ? ಹಾಲು ಕುಡ್ದಾ? ಬಿಸ್ಕೆಟ್ ತಿಂತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ? ನಿನ್ನ ಫೋಟೋ ತೆಗಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡು.
For any father or mother, a smiling face on a child is the most affectionate thing which they can get. But if they are not able to see that smile on their kids, that is going to be a sad atmosphere.
Too often, we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, or a smallest act of caring. Alas, these all have the potential to turn a life around, and so we are. Love Without Reason.
Love Without Reason was started in 2006. While we had the realization that there are a lot of people born with facial deformities around the world. They are treated differently. They are not treated like people who are born normal. In the year 2000, my wife Susan and I learned that we were pregnant with our first baby. And when we went to the doctor's office for the first ultrasound, the doctor said that there are many problems with this baby. He said that there are many facial and birth defects that this baby is having, and therefore he told us that this baby will be born dead. However, we believed in our heart that this baby will be born alive, and therefore we did not abort this baby. We decided to have him. In the year 2000, July 27th, Philip was born, and he was born with a lot of facial defects. The nurses, after he was born, took him and gave him to me, and I picked him up and I looked at him, and I could see just one eye. and 1 year. He had a cleft lip and a cleft palate. It was not a very easy thing to see. However, he had this one eye that was looking at me. That eye seemed to say, "Thank you, Papa." I remember that eye. It meant a lot to us that Philip was born. But it also created a deep sense of panic within us because we did not know what to do with a baby like him. His face was disfigured. To us, he was the most beautiful baby, but there were lots of problems. The day after he was born, the doctors came and told us that the center of his brain, it's called the corpus callosum, that thing is not there for Philip. And therefore they said he'll never walk, he'll never talk. They said that he will never be like other children. We went through many surgeries in the life of Philip. Philip's heart was healed completely by itself, and it's a power of faith. Philip started to walk and started to talk. He started to do things that the doctors said that he will never do. He went through about 23 different surgeries and procedures, and today he's a 14-year-old, handsome, wonderful young man.
Well, without reason help kids and adults with craniofacial deformities like cleft lip or cleft palate and many other things in the face. But I have two of those, several of those actually. I had a cleft lip, cleft palate. You can see one eye and 1 year here. But I've been through all of those difficulties. I'm standing here right before you as a living testimony, showing you that nothing is impossible. Okay? I mean, the doctor said I wouldn't be able to walk. Did you see me walk from there to here? I can walk many more. I can walk 8 miles. You just asked me to.
After Philip was born, we had so many different specialists we had to see. We had to see plastic surgeons, dentist, orthodontist, speech therapist, special teachers for him, special dietitians to help us with his feeding, heart specialists, different surgeons. We were so blessed that we had everything we needed there in America. But so many are born with no access to any of these healthcare, and therefore they have no hope for a future. They have no hope for an education, and their life may be just simply a life of poverty or a life of vulnerability to people who may use them and abuse them. And though it took many years to get to that stage, we slowly began to realize, after seeing the need for these type of treatments for different children in different areas of the world, we began to see the need for that and begin to gradually form the thoughts and form the ideas to bring Love Without Reason together.
One of the luckiest things that can happen in one's life is to have the happiest childhood. And every child does demand it.
In India, for every 800 birth, one child is born with cleft lip and palate. And I'm very much glad that Love Without Reason has initiated a project in India, and especially Santosh Matthew, as a father of cleft child, he has gone through the pain and he has walked through the path. And when he said like we want to help these kids, and they should look all of us, like we should make them as normal as all of us, I was very much glad to be associated with him. So we started this project, and it is going on very smoothly, and all the patients, they are very happy, their lives have changed.
We began to find the patients with the healthcare workers who began to show us different patients in the different districts across Karnataka. We were able to find patients by asking the healthcare workers. We would show them pictures of children that have cleft and facial deformities, and they would go back to their villages and find these patients and bring them to the medical camps that we would hold throughout Karnataka state.
We Love Without Reason conduct medical camps in association with the Kind Hearts and other organizations in the rural areas. These medical camps throughout the country find the needy and the eligible patients.
ഇത്തരം വൈകല്യത്തോടു കൂടി ജനിക്കുന്ന സാമ്പത്തിക ശേഷിയില്ലാത്ത കുട്ടികളെ കണ്ടെത്തി സൗജന്യമായി അവരെ ചികിത്സിച്ച് ഭേദമാക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ലക്ഷ്യം. അതിനായി ഞങ്ങൾ ഓരോ ജില്ലത്തോടും ക്യാമ്പുകൾ സംഘടിപ്പിച്ച് അതിലൂടെ ഇത്തരം കുട്ടികളെ കണ്ടെത്തി അവർക്ക് വേണ്ട സൗജന്യ ചികിത്സ നൽകി അവരെ സമൂഹത്തിൻ്റെ മുൻനിരയിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കുന്നതാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ലക്ഷ്യം. അതുകൂടാതെ തന്നെ അവർക്ക് വീണ്ടും അവരുടെ ഭാവി ജീവിതത്തിന് വേണ്ടതായിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ സപ്പോർട്ടുകളും ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തു കൊടുക്കുവാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു.
The social stigma which is based on this cleft is unimaginable. You will only come to know when you face such a child, their family, you ask them the issues which they face. They don't want treatment. Why they want treatment is the question to be asked. It is the social stigma. They are not able to go out, neither sit with normal people, because they think they are some devil or some kind of problems which is affecting them. Why I say poor and the poorest of the patient? Because most of this cleft is seen in the low socioeconomic places. One of the most common reasons of this cleft is the deficiency of folic acid. This folic acid should be given during the first trimester of pregnancy, not in the later trimester. This cleft is being seen in tribal areas where the accessibility to good hospitals are less. So what they do, they go to these tribal doctors, or so-called as family doctors, not even qualified. They give some herbal medicines which can lead to this cleft. And the third reason, which is now the common thing even in the modern era, is the genetic disorder, which is a problem related to the chromosomes. How cleft is done is in stages. The first stage is at the 3 months, where we operate the patient for their lip. Then we operate the baby at the age of 1 year for palate. Then at the age of 6 years, we do the nose and the bone corrections. So if you take the longevity of the process, it takes from 3 months to almost 18 years when a child is being sent out of the hospital as a perfect child.
The transformation period differs from one patient to another. Some may come into their normal life within no time. But in some other cases, the patients may need more physical, emotional, psychological, medical, social, and economical supports to come back to their normal life. And this can take over a period of time, dedication, and commitment.
The aim of Love Without Reason is not only the surgery. So apart from that, there is a overall what we call as throughout the development from birth. It is not that we'll just do one surgery and it's okay, our job is done, we are going move ahead like that. We follow up through the many years, and we should make sure that they are doing good and their studies are taken care well. And our team of Love Without Reason regularly visits villages and see what's happening, do regular follow up and all. In futures we have like many plans, like we want to take them to further, we want to help them for their education.
Human beings are born to be social animals, where he is loved, protected, accepted and appreciated. But sometimes the same society corners some human beings for no reason. Deformities are never once sin, and one can never be cursed for being born with deformities. Every individual has his right of being loved, protected, accepted, appreciated, and live their desired life. And sometimes it takes just an initiative from our part to bring someone back to his normal life.
In 2012, that was the first time that I was able to go to Kamatipura in Mumbai, and we were able to see one home for the rescued victims of sex trafficking. Most of them were children, young girls, ages 14 to 17 years old. They had been rescued from the streets. And my heart really was broken for those children. As we learned more about the trafficking that's going on, we also found out that across the India-Nepal border, 7,000 children, girls and boys, are trafficked every year. And it's a huge problem, and one goal for Love Without Reason is to build a home for them to be rescued and to be restored and to be rehabilitated so that they can go back into society and be able to be the person that they are called to be.
People born with facial deformities, there's nothing wrong with them other than their facial deformity itself. So most of these people, they are sold into both beggary and as well as organ harvesting. Their organs are taken and sold into the black market. Many of them live with one lung or with one kidney. Some of them have their eyes gouged out. There are many other issues that they go through. A life of a person living with facial deformity is a life of sorrow, deep sorrow. But I think with what we do with Love Without Reason, we are able to take this life, take this person who's going through so much sorrow and difficulty. With a simple surgery, we are able to transform their lives into something amazing. And I believe that that is where Love Without Reason comes in. We can help transform lives dramatically. A simple surgery can change the lives of these young people forever.
ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಂತೋಷನೂ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮಗು ಅಂತ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕನಸಲ್ಲೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅನುಭವ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ.
ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು.
ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಬೇಬಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ.
ಮೊದಲಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಡೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನನಗೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು, ತುಂಬಾ ತುಂಬಾ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು.
ಸಂತೋಷ ಈಗ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅವ್ರ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ
We are not gods, but of course, God does live in us. So does He in every human being. Let us be humans with God residing in us. Let us bring back someone to his normal life, because every child does matter.
What we request from your side is like you can be associated with Love Without Reason as a voluntary basis, or you can be of one of our donor, like sponsoring the surgery for any one of the kids, and also you can involve with all the other activities of Love Without Reason.
Love Without Reason simply means there's no reason, just love. There's no conditions, just love. And that's what we wanted to do.
Our goal is to see India as a cleft-free India, as a trafficking-free India. Would you consider joining us? Together we can all make a great difference for India.
മക്കളെ ഈ സജീവ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു പയ്യൻ ഇവിടെ അടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് താമസിക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? സജീവ് ഈ പാലം. താങ്ക് യു.